Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to literally take apart the mutual fund ecosystem. We'll uncover this hidden, highly regulated machinery that is constantly working behind the scenes to protect and grow your wealth. It's like a giant puzzle, and we're going to see how all the pieces fit together.
So let's dive right in with a pretty surprising fact. The mutual fund company itself doesn't actually hold your assets. I know, it sounds totally counterintuitive, right? You hand over your hard-earned money, but the folks actually making the investment decisions, they aren't the ones keeping it in the vault. And as we're going to see, that separation is completely by design. To really understand how this works, we need to meet the whole cast of characters. We'll quickly run through these 6 areas. 1. The mutual fund trust. 2. Sponsors and trustees. 3. Inside the AMC engine. 4. Custodians and RTAs. 5. Distributors and platforms. And finally, 6. Rules, regulators, and overseers. Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the mutual fund trust. Here's the absolute foundational point you need to know. A mutual fund is not just some regular corporate company that exists to maximize its own bottom line. No, it is a very specific legal vehicle. By law, it's established as a trust, governed way back by the Indian Trusts Act of 1882. Now, every single trust out there has to have beneficiaries. For a mutual fund trust, those ultimate beneficiaries are you, the investors, the unit holders. That means this entire architecture is legally bound to operate for your benefit. Moving right along to Section 2, sponsors and trustees. Think of this as the ultimate checks and balances system. First, you have the sponsor. They're the main promoter behind the business. They set up the fund and put up the initial capital to get the whole thing off the ground. But acting as a counterbalance are the trustees. They are your designated protectors. They literally hold the assets in trust for you, and their entire job is to constantly monitor the asset management company and make sure every single rule is being followed to the letter. And get this, the rules to even become a sponsor are intensely strict. You can't just wake up one day and decide, hey, I'm going to start a mutual fund. The regulator demands a spotless, proven track record. A sponsor must have been carrying on business in financial services for at least 5 years. Plus, they need a positive net worth in all 5 of those preceding years, alongside an average net annual profit of at least 10 crore rupees. This intense vetting makes sure that only deeply experienced, financially rock-solid organizations can act as the architect of your investments. All right, let's pop the hood for Section 3, inside the AMC engine. Enter the Asset Management Company, or the AMC. Before they can even think about managing a single rupee of your money, they have to prove their own massive financial stability. They are required to have a net worth of not less than 50 crore rupees deployed in assets. 50 crore! This is totally non-negotiable. It guarantees that the firm running the day-to-day market operations has serious skin in the game. Internally, an AMC is a really sophisticated organism. It's cleanly divided into highly specialized departments that all operate under the strict oversight of the sponsor and trustee. It's definitely not just a bunch of folks yelling on a trading floor. It is a meticulously structured machine. Let's break down those specialized teams really quickly. First up, the front office. That's your fund managers, analysts, and dealers. They are the ones constantly evaluating the markets, analyzing risks, and actively placing trades. Then you've got the back office, handling all the heavy lifting of operations, records, and customer service. But honestly, the most vital part for your security is the compliance function. While the front office acts as the players going after market returns, the compliance officer is your internal protector. To guarantee they stay independent, the compliance officer actually bypasses the AMC's own head and reports directly to the trustees if there are any regulatory hiccups. Next up, Section 4, custodians and RTAs. Okay, let's loop back to our opening question. Who actually holds your money? That would be the custodian. While the AMC is making the investment decisions, an independent custodian is the one physically and electronically holding the actual securities and settling the transactions. This hard separation is massive. It means the AMC literally can't just run away with the funds. Next, we have the registrar and transfer agent, or the RTA. They maintain all your intricate investor records, process your purchases and redemptions, and shoot you those account statements. And finally, rounding out the defense, independent auditors come in to review the mutual fund's scheme accounts, totally separate from the AMC's corporate auditors. Which brings us to Section 5, distributors and platforms. So how do you, the investor, actually plug into this massive system? You use these specialized entry points. Maybe you use a distributor. And by the way, they have to pass strict NISM certification exams just to make sure they're selling you suitable stuff. Or maybe you use an execution-only platform like an app for direct digital transactions. You could even hand a physical form to a collecting banker at a local branch, or hold your units electronically via depositories like NSDL and CDSL. Every single one of these channels is a highly regulated doorway designed to connect you safely to the trusting ecosystem. Finally, Section 6, Rules, Regulators, and Overseers. Now, this whole ensemble needs referees to enforce the law. SEBI is the absolute top dog here, the ultimate regulator. They mandate that 50 core net worth, they write the structural rules, and they even have to approve the appointments of key personnel. Then you've got AMFI. AMFI does awesome work setting ethical standards and registering those distributors we just talked about, but, and this is a crucial note, AMFI is an industry association. It is not a regulatory body. And lastly, the KYC registration agencies, or KRAs. They securely maintain your Know Your Customer data in one central place, which is why you don't have to fill out the exact same massive stack of paperwork every single time you invest in a new fund. When you step back and look at the big picture, this quote straight from our source material perfectly captures the so what of all this. When all these characters play their highly specialized parts, from the seasoned sponsor and those watchful trustees, to the brilliant analysts in the AMC and the impartial custodian holding the bag, they create a brilliantly secure, well-oiled machine. It's an entire universe completely wrapped around protecting your investments. So, now that you know how the sausage is really made, I have a challenge for you. The next time you log in to check your portfolio, look past the flashy brand names. Try to spot those unseen guardians, the custodians, the RTAs, the trustees who are working tirelessly behind the scenes for you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.